Leah Grayson, the necklace of strength. Imagine a quiet girl clutching her late mother's necklace, her only link to love and memory, until it's torn from her by cruel bullies who believe they're untouchable. But what happens when they awaken something fierce inside her? The fury of a black belt that lands them in the hospital. This is a story of vengeance, redemption, and an unbreakable spirit. Hit subscribe and dive into tales of justice, courage, and heart-pounding twists. Leah Grayson was 16, a slender, quiet girl with storm-gray eyes and a heart heavy with loss. At Westbridge High, a dull gray brick school in a sleepy Ohio town, she was invisible to most. Her hair was usually tied in a messy bun. Her clothes were old hoodies and faded sneakers. But around her neck hung something priceless, her mother's necklace. It was a delicate silver chain with a teardrop-shaped emerald pendant, given to her 2 years earlier in a hospital room, the last gift from her mother, Emily, before cancer took her away. "This is for strength, Leah," her mother had whispered. "You're stronger than you know." Leah touched that pendant constantly, a quiet habit, like breathing. It grounded her, reminding her of love and home. Though tarnished and fragile, she wore it every day. Westbridge High was a battlefield of cliques and cruelty, where popularity was power, something Leah didn't have. She was the quiet girl who sketched in her notebook during lunch, head down, trying to stay invisible. But predators noticed quiet targets. The worst of them was Madison Carver, a senior cheerleader with beauty, power, and a cruel streak. Her sidekicks, Jake, a linebacker with a vicious laugh, and Tara, whose sharp tongue could slice through anyone's defenses, followed her lead. They had tormented Leah since freshman year, mocking her thrift store clothes, shoving her in the halls, and once dumping her lunch tray across the cafeteria floor while everyone laughed. Leah endured it all in silence, gripping her necklace to keep herself from breaking. It was a crisp October afternoon when everything changed. Leah sat beneath an oak tree in the school courtyard, sketching her mother's face. She was lost in memory when a shadow fell across her page. "Drawing your mommy again, Grayson?" Madison's voice dripped with mockery. Leah froze, hoping they'd go away, but they didn't. Jake grabbed her sketchbook, flipping through it. "This is garbage," he sneered, tossing it to Tara. Tara ripped out a page, crumpling it. Leah's chest tightened. But Madison wasn't finished. "That ugly necklace again?" she said, stepping closer. "Some cheap junk from your dead mom?" Before Leah could react, Madison yanked the chain. It snapped with a metallic crack, and the pendant hit the dirt. Leah lunged for it, but Jake shoved her down. Tara stomped on the pendant, the emerald shattered under her heel. Madison laughed. "Oops. Maybe now you'll stop being such a pathetic loser." They walked away, leaving Leah kneeling in the dirt, clutching the broken pieces. She hid in the bathroom, crying into her hands. The pendant was shattered. The chain snapped in 3 places. It wasn't just jewelry. It was her mother's promise, her strength. Losing it felt like losing Emily all over again. But as the tears dried, something else awoke inside her, a deep, molten anger. Not the kind that fades, but a quiet, focused rage. Leah wasn't just a fragile girl. She was a black belt in Taekwondo, trained since age 6 by her uncle, Ray, a former Marine who ran a local dojo. After her mother's death, Uncle Ray had become her anchor, teaching her to channel pain into power. She'd stopped competing when her mother got sick, but her training never left her. And now, for the first time, she was ready to use it. She told no one, not her best friend Sarah, who'd always urged her to stand up for herself, and not Uncle Ray, who believed violence should always be the last resort. This was her battle. She knotted the broken chain around her neck, wearing it like a scar, a symbol of what had been taken from her. The next day, she walked into Westbridge High with a calm fire in her eyes. Madison noticed instantly. "Still wearing that trash," Madison taunted. Leia met her gaze, steady, unflinching. "You'll regret that," she said quietly. For the first time, Madison looked uncertain. That flicker of fear fueled Leia's resolve. Over the next week, she studied them, their habits, routines, weaknesses. Madison had cheer practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Jake stayed late in the weight room. Tara smoked behind the gym. Leia wasn't reckless. She wasn't going to attack in public or get herself expelled. She wanted justice, clean, clear, and undeniable. The perfect moment came during the school's annual pep rally. Chaos everywhere, the perfect cover. When it ended, Madison, Jake, and Tara headed to the parking lot laughing. Leia followed quietly, waiting behind a row of cars. "What's this, Grayson? Stalking us now?" Madison called out. Leia stepped into view. The broken necklace glinted in the fading sunlight. "You broke something that mattered to me," she said. "I want an apology." Jake snorted. "Cry about it." "Last chance," Leia said evenly. Madison smirked. "Or what? You'll cry us to death?" Leia moved before they could blink. Her training took over, sharp, precise, unstoppable. A spinning kick to Jake's knee sent him crashing down. An elbow to his chest knocked the air from his lungs. Tara lunged, Leia sidestepped, locked her arm, and dropped her to the ground with a joint twist. Madison froze, terrified. "You don't touch me," Leia said, her voice calm as steel. "And you don't touch what's mine." She didn't hit Madison. She didn't need to. The fear in Madison's eyes was enough.